Hey everybody, Dr. Robert Pate here, licensed clinical psychologist. I'm going to talk with you today about EGRs. These are extra grace required people. So these are the people in your life that really just get on your nerves and you can't stand being around them. You might even start to resent anything that you're doing when you're with them. So extra grace required people really do take a lot from us. They tax our resources, our emotional resources, sometimes even our physical resources because we can get even more physically tired when we're around them. So, grace, if you're not super familiar with that term, grace is something that is not earned. Grace is essentially a gift that is undeserved or unearned by someone else. So it's something that's freely given. So I want to tell you about a time when I learned about EGRs and it changed my life, my daily life. So several years ago, I was working for a community mental health clinic, and there was another gal who had an office just a couple doors down from mine, another therapist, and she and I did not get along. We had different personalities, different ideas about what was helpful for people, and as much as we kept it together for the sake of the families that we worked with, we really just did not enjoy each other's presence. And I got to the point where really it is pretty bad. When I would see her car pulling into the parking lot in the morning, I just got a sinking feeling in my stomach, and my day started to get ruined a little bit, and every interaction I had with her just made it worse. So I was anticipating bad things. I was hoping she would change, and I just really was not having a good time in my day because she was there. And I heard someone speaking around that time about this idea of EGRs, extra grace required people. And they talked about it as being a choice. And when I realized, oh my goodness, I'm choosing to let this person have emotional control over me. And I don't think she was trying to emotionally control me. Just I was allowing the negative feelings I had about this relationship to start controlling my day. And I didn't want to take this stuff home to my family. I didn't want to take the bad feelings all the way through the day. I would avoid this person. I walked quickly past her open door so I wouldn't have to interact with her. And I realized just how dumb that was, how silly that was to really let this person rule my daily life at work. And so I made the choice to really start trying to see the good in her and to just not let her bother me anymore. I just accepted that she was the way she was and I was the way I was. And if we were going to work together and enjoy work, that I just needed to let it go. I needed to not let our relationship get in the way of all of my other relationships at work. So I made that choice. I started to try and see the good in her, and it was difficult at first, but I started finding things that I could appreciate. I treated her differently. I was more kind to her rather than resentful and avoidant. And lo and behold, the relationship started to change. Now, she didn't magically become someone that I wanted to go bowling with all the time, right? She didn't magically change into someone that was going to be my best buddy, but the relationship did change for the better. And that was largely because I made the choice to start seeing her differently and really to start acting differently toward her. But it was a choice. I was not going to let her ruin any part of any day for me anymore. So I assume that probably you had an EGR come to mind for you. And if you've got that person in mind, I hope that what you'll do is you'll make that choice to start seeing them differently, to find the good, even if it's just little tiny bits of good in them, and to behave lovingly toward them, to offer some grace even when it's not deserved. And I have a feeling that giving that grace, if nothing else, it will release you from the emotional control that they have over you. And it may even change a little bit of that relationship. They might start to behave differently toward you because you're behaving differently toward them. So I can't guarantee that, but what I can tell you is that if you make that choice to release that control that they have over you, to give up some of the hurt feelings that you have, and really, I mean, grace, forgiveness, love, these are all things that are choices that we make. Every moment, every day, we're making choices about who we're going to love and who we're going to give grace to, who are we going to be merciful toward. It's always a choice. So I hope that you'll start making that choice, and I really do hope and believe that it will start to change the way that you feel. If you're having a hard time with this, if it's just really hard to make those choices and decisions on a moment-to-moment basis, especially over the long term, I'd encourage you to get some help with that. Talk to somebody that you trust. If that ends up being a therapist, great. We typically tend to be pretty good people to help you out with that because we have that outsider's perspective. So sometimes relationships are tough when you're too close to them. So I'd encourage you to find some help. Feel free to give me a call. Let's set up a consultation, see if there's some way that I can help you with that difficult relationship. But in the meantime, I hope that you and your EGR can start to get along better. And just make those choices every moment, every day. So good luck with your extra grace required person, and I hope to talk to you soon.